Review show, the number one in the interweb paradigm review show on Planet X Filmworks PXF. What up, Slip? Today we're doing happy Cinco weekend, everybody. And today we're doing Machete. Apologies for getting bounced off yesterday. Basically, had a work event and we couldn't do the show because I was back super late and that wouldn't have worked for Gaz. So we thought we would make it up to you guys with today. We're also going to be dropping the schedule. We didn't get around to it yet, but obviously Machete today, Roadhouse with Lauren Lepre next Saturday. I'm going to be away the 17th, and then we're probably going to do Top Gun 1 for Memorial Day. And I think it was Conan the Barbarian, right, guys? I think that's right before the Conan release date.
I believe so, yeah.
Conan 1 the Barb, another PXF classic. So today's a PXF classic, Machete. Conan the 31st, another classic. I mean, you could even say Top Gun is a PXF classic as well. What up, everybody? Hit us up in the chat. And how's it going, guys?
Yeah, not bad, man. I'm pretty much in Sunday mode. Nearly slipped up there before we went live. Luckily, we just missed that part.
Yeah, PRS, the number one in professionalism on the PXF network. So we're not going to worry about spoilers today. This film dropped in 2010. This is one of Mac and I's favorites. I think this kind of goes along. I consider this like a two-pack with Hobo with the Shotgun, which we're going to definitely need to get on here soon. We'll have to check when the release date of that was. For those who don't know, this kind of comes out of the Grindhouse series that Tarantino and Rodriguez did, which is a two-pack. It's Death Ride. I think that's what Tarantino's called, right? And then Planet Terror is Rodriguez, the zombie one, which I actually thought Planet Terror was the better of the two. I think people more liked Grindhouse just because of Kurt Russell and the whole Tarantino thing, you know?
Yeah. Well, Planet Terror has that classic scene, isn't it? That I haven't seen it for so long, isn't it? The girl who has a leg as the rocket launcher.
Yep. I think there might have been something like that in Machete too, but yeah, that definitely Planet Terror. So in the middle of in the middle of Grindhouse, there's this section of Grindhouse fake trailers, and that's where the original Hobo with the Shotgun trailer came from. That the dude that made Tree Revenge, actually totally spaced on his name, but he's the director of Hobo with the Shotgun. That dude made that, and they also do Dark Side of the Ring, guys, as you know. And then there's like Nazi Werewolf Women of the SS, which has Nicolas Cage in it. That's the Rob Zombie fake trailer. And then there's Machete, which is the Robert Rodriguez fake trailer. So we'll get into somehow that like original footage is used from the fake trailer into the film here. But right off the bat, like I'm always surprised by this. I remember seeing it in the theater, Gaz, and this bit of this semi-ensemble cast that Robert Rodriguez has put together. A lot of people don't know this, guys, but this is Danny Trejo's first lead in his entire acting career. He's never been a leading man. So Machete is the first film that he's the top bill on, which is crazy because obviously Danny Trejo was like a crime
he's been in everything, hasn't he? Yeah.
Consultant in Heat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he worked with Deniro on Heat. And then when Deniro came to the set of Machete, he was like, Danny, look at you. He's like, you're number one now. You're number one on the call sheet. So that like, Trejo said that was like a little moment between him and like, Deniro where their careers coming full circle. But obviously like Michelle Rodriguez is Luz, aka She. Robert De Niro is Senator McLaughlin. I think this is like his funniest like Grindhouse character, guys, just because like the fake Texas accent, like if you've seen this guy act for 40 years, you know that he's like a strong New York Italian, you know what I mean? So when he's using that like fake accent, you're just like, obviously he drops it, halfway through the movie. Jessica Alba, Steven Seagal as Torres, supervillain. I really like Jeff Fahey's Booth. He's like McLaughlin's like right-hand man. Cheech Marin, obviously Cheech and Chong. Don Johnson, obviously he's Vaughn, he's Miami Vice. Shea Wigham is pretty big, obviously like the Lindsay Lohan cameo. It's just obviously Tom Savini is Osiris Amanpour, the Texan hitman, like whatever he is, bounty hunter. That's probably the most of the ones people know, but I mean that's pretty impressive for a Robert Rodriguez Grindhouse film. That almost sounds more like a Tarantino, you know what I mean, kind of cast, like,
yeah, well, it has that feel. I mean, Cuba Gooding Jr. I feel is very good in this film. In fact, really good. A lot of people forget that. There's Antonio Banderas is in there. There's so many cameos and very well known people. Mel Gibson's character, Voss.
That's you're looking at Machete Kills, bud.
Sorry, yeah. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Those are the Machete Kills. Yeah. So Seagal Torres is the villain in the first one, and then obviously Mel Gibson is the villain in the second one. Voss. I always wondered like if they made like Machete Kills. I know at the end of the fake trailer, at the end of Machete Kills, they made Machete Kills again. It says that like Leonardo DiCaprio was going to play Voss instead of Gibson, which like I always wondered who would be the villain in 3. You know.
Yeah.
So
well, apparently Danny Trejo has been. Wasn't he recently talking about possibly doing a Machete 3, and that would go. I think Gibbs folks got a real bad throw at the moment. That would take it into space as we see at the end of the second one.
Yeah, the fake trailer. Yeah,
and it's kind of got that parody on Star Wars and everything as well, which does look utterly ridiculous but hilarious. The lightsaber duel it shows you. It would be nice to see, because I tell you why, Ross. Maybe we could look at these movies as well. Those B movies, you know, those like, what is it, Nazis on the Moon or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard of
them. We've seen them, and those they're kind of very much in this vein, utterly ridiculous, over the top, hilarious action scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. This is very like, you know, I think the Gaz, like, you know, Evil Dead trilogy slapstick fan base would enjoy this. I mean, you know, there's actually quite a bit in here about immigration and building the wall and kind of the political sides, and it's really an interesting angle for Rodriguez to tackle, because that topic obviously blew up in America, the Trump terms and all the campaigns, and, you know, build the wall and all that nonsense. So Rodriguez was really way ahead of this, which is super interesting. He obviously lives down in Texas and, you know, has a good grasp on it. But we can kind of rip into the plot here. There's just so many funny gags and so many funny kills. Just Danny Trejo is just obviously the man, the way he plays them, you know.
Yeah. Oh man, I think you can say that with these movies. It pretty much, if you're expecting a very serious action movie, then you're in the wrong place. It's literally sit down there, you know, eject your bread and be entertained. Very over the top sequences, very exaggerated performances as well, but purposely so. And there's some parts where you kind of see a sequence happen. The bad thing, did that just? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's way over the top. I mean, it's exactly what you see when they made that fake trailer back in the day on Grindhouse. So it starts out. Gets to the. I love that we were talking about it before. I think Desert Fiends used it of the clips of the film that you could see that filter across the screen. It gives you that like 60mm Grindhouse film of watching. Like, so it gives you that right off the rip. Machete and his partner Federale, his captain, they're going to like break up a like a kidnapping or whatever. Yeah, so you probably saw that Machete trailer in the middle there, Slippy. And you know, they do a lot more with it when they flesh out the feature film. But they're going down there. It's like a kidnapping. Machete Cortez, a Mexican federale, his young partner on a mission to rescue a kidnapped girl. During the operation, his partner is killed. The kidnapped girl stabs in the leg before being killed herself, and Machete is betrayed by his corrupt chief to the powerful drug lord and former federale Rogelio Torres. It's obviously Seagal, who kills Machete's wife and implies that we kill his daughter before leaving him for dead. It's basically a big fight where Machete blasts in there, kind of like establishes, you know, his superpowers, for lack of a better word. But the girl stabs him, obviously double crosses him, and he tries to rescue her. Yeah, I guess as well, you could kind of go with the analogy of, kind of reminds me of some of those first-person shooter games we've played, and those like games you've played growing up as well. The ones that have the very exaggerated humor, where, you know, kind of serious Sam and that other one we played with, like I think was it Shadow Dragon or something like
Shadow
that.
Warrior,
the Warriors, yeah. It kind of it's got that feel to it as well, folks. So
definitely.
But it makes it entertaining. It really does. And if I know it's been a while since it's been released, but if you can actually see it on a big screen, sometimes they do events, show these films again, or if you know a buddy that's got a big
anniversary
screen,
or whatever,
definitely recommend it. Yeah, because the camera angles I thought were good as well, Ross. I know I talk about that in a lot of the reviews, but I did like that.
I mean, Rodriguez is one of the best directors in the game. A lot of people just continue to not understand this. I mean, he's clearly Tarantino's protege. I'd say maybe the next best guy. Rodriguez is a little bit more my style. There's actually a few Rodriguez films that I actually prefer to some of Tarantino's, not his best ones. They obviously did Dusk Till Dawn together. Desperado 1, you have the Quentin Tarantino cameo. So a lot. I always wondered about this. I would love to see a feature of that, like a full 30-minute segment. He should really flesh that out, if not a short film, to make a whole feature, because that'd be sick. Right, and obviously Zombie's probably like the third Grindhouse director after Tarantino, Rodriguez, and Zombie.
If they can do those, I can't recall the name now, but those Nazi zombie movies, I think, where they're in the cinema.
Red.
Yeah, you know the one.
Dead Snow.
Right? If they could do them, they could easily do this.
No, 100%. That's kind of what I was thinking. Even if you worked with those guys. The other thing too was, remember we always talk about. Let me try to attempt to speak. Remember we always talk about Dog Soldiers. Well, apparently the reason why they couldn't get Dog Soldiers 2 was because he lost the rights to it, so they're like totally unable to do it. But there was that movie with Frank Grillo that was werewolves that looked a lot similar. So I want to watch that. I was gonna. I know the Dog Soldiers director. He said like they're gonna do some type of sequel. It might not be a direct title sequel, but it should be something similar. What I was saying to him is like, dude, you guys should hit the guy that made Werewolves and then, have them all work together and make like Werewolves 2 or whatever and make it like Dog Soldiers would be sick. But anyway, back on to Machete. So it's a lot of these Mexico-America border themes. So 3 years later, down and out, Machete roams Texas, scraping on yard work. Michael Blue, the local businessman and spin doctor, explains to Machete that corrupt Texas state senator John McLaughlin sending hundreds of legal immigrants out of the country. That sounds familiar, right, guys? Which would reduce the number of laborers. In order to stop this, Booth offers Machete $150K to kill McLaughlin. Machete accepts the murder contract after Booth threatens to kill him if he does not. So basically what happened was Machete was walking by. He was in that fight club, and Booth was watching him, and he dodged that guy trying to hit him. The guy broke his hand on the pole, and Machete got the money for winning the fight. It's like a little, what up, Pixie? Yeah, I know we haven't been able to post the schedule, but we're going to be doing so. We're going to be doing so right after this show. So we're talking Machete. I don't know if you've seen it, Pixie. The big thing is he leads them to like the weapons room. Obviously, it's like a Boondock-esque saint with all the guns, and Machete just takes the one machete, and Booth is like, it's low tech, it's primitive. He's like, he gives them the automatic sniper rifle. So it's like Machete has this big sniper rifle. I couldn't help but think of like obviously like the Kennedy assassination like influenced this, right? Because he's like up on the roof, it's shooting a center. It's very, very like political like assassination trope, but still funny.
Yeah, there is as you said, Ross, there is a social commentary in the movie which is hidden in the humor. And it's kind of like, whether you get that with South Park because it's done through humor, I think that's why it kind of can slip by.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's very subtle as well, the way it does it in places.
Yeah, 100%. So I mean, it's like your typical like political sniper assassination trope. Machete trains a rifle on McLaughlin from a rooftop during a rally, but before he fires, he sees one of Bluth's henchmen aiming at him. So it's like obviously a setup. They're trying to have Machete be the fall guy. The henchman shoots Machete in the shoulder, then shoots McLaughlin in the leg. It's revealed that Booth orchestrated the attempted assassination as part of a false flag operation to gain public support for McLaughlin's secure border campaign. And dude, like, this really occurred to me while I was watching this. This is probably the third or fourth time I've seen the film, guys. How close this was to the Trump assassination attempt. Like it's eerie crazy that like for one, Rodriguez nailed the immigration theme, right, with the whole trend of anti-immigration nationalists versus like other people who support it. Like he's like this came out in 2010. That first Trump campaign was in 2006, so he's at least 6 to 10 years ahead of that. And the fact that Trump goes for a second term and gets shot and like uses the assassination attempt to the campaign, which is like what this is like. I was just like, dude, I know there's always that, like, I'm not really being conspiratorial because there's just like these type of things happen, right? Where it's like a movie does something similar, then the real event happens. But I was just like, it's insane. Rodriguez could be that ahead of the current event, Like,
yeah, wasn't it? It was one of the animated comedy series. Don't think it was South Park. Possibly it's The Simpsons, and they predicted
The
him
Trump
to become presidency.
Yeah.
Years and years ago.
That too. It was like the 90s or something.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, you can argue that even that with sci-fi, as they say, like science fiction becomes science fact.
Yep. Right.
So sometimes, yeah, these crazy things happen, and it's not always, as you said, someone being conspiratorial or whatever. It's just coincidence, or that just seems to happen. Yeah, but it is crazy when you think about it.
It almost makes, as Gaz was saying with a social commentary, it always almost like what I say about They Live a lot. Of course, I have my you know what I mean, chew bubblegum and kick ass shirt on, graffiti shirt, but like a lot what people say about like The Thing and They Live and, you know, Equilibrium, like all the things that me and Gaz have talked about endlessly in the PXF classics, is they become more Joker was influenced, because when Joker came out, then those riots happened in America, the Black Lives Matter riots. So it's almost like these type of films that include the social commentary, they do become more relevant with time, which you assume it would be the opposite, right? A film becomes outdated. You know, you watch 60s and 70s films now, you can't relate to them because we have cell phones and computers. Things are so different. But with these timeless classics, it's almost like they become more relevant with the current events being more relevant to the plot material. And we're not trying to make Machete intellectual or anything like that, guys, but as Gaz said, it's a fact, you know?
No, but it is. And if you look back, and I'll try and not go off into a historical angle here, because I'll turn this into another show entirely, but Gangs of New York, if you think of what happens in those films, or the gang fights, I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis's character is phenomenal in that movie. But then you can see kind of that paradigm, you know, between then and now, and as you said, things you've just mentioned with this film. So yeah, good point, man.
Yeah, it's just again, like I've watched it a few times, and obviously I just watch it as a, you know, like a popcorn, you know, get off your face type movie, as Gaz was saying. Last time I was kind of like, well, I mean, that's kind of what happened here, you know. By setting up Machete as the gunman, the conspirators make it appear that an outlaw illegal Mexican immigrant has tried to assassinate the senator, who's known for his tough stance on illegal immigration. Sounds damn near what happened here, text like word for word. Injured Machete escapes by Booth and is taken to the hospital with treated wounds, escaping once again from Booth's henchmen at the hospital. So yeah, we'll break that down. Obviously he uses the skull scraper. The doctor's like, hey, don't grab those. Like those are razor sharp, and that thing's a skull scraper. And he's like, as he's saying it, he's like collecting them all. He puts it on a rope and he swings it through and he cuts their head. Now this reminded me of, I gotta see what the year is. Maybe did Hobo come out that year or the next year? Because this reminded me of when Grinder and Rip from The Plague in Hobo, Gaz, they go when Hobo's in the hospital and they have that crossbow with the ropes on it and they shoot the guys in the ceiling and hang them, because it was like they were fighting through the hospital hallways. So I was like, both Grindhouse movies had a hospital scene. So I was like, damn, this is like Hobo, you know?
And interestingly enough, Hobo dropped 2011, so it was a year later, wasn't it?
So I mean, they both could have been filming at the same time, honestly, in defense. But I got you, Pixie. It was 2010. If you like Danny Trejo, you're gonna rock with it. There was another scene that reminded me of something. I think it was towards the beginning, but I kind of forgot what it was. Maybe it will come back to me. But definitely the hospital. I got Hobo vibe.
The thing is with these movies as well, there is a lot of references to other films, because here's one in Machete Kills, the sequel. A lot of people miss this, and it's very, very brief. I believe it's when Danny Trejo it possibly might be that car that's kind of a bit like a Mad Max kind of armored car they used to escape from a car yard / scrapyard in Machete Kills. Now, the point I'm getting is on the gear stick, there's a skull head, and it's the same kind of style of gear that they have in the Death Race movies, which I think Danny Trejo is in. It's a Death Race 3 on one of them. So it's just like, it's really brief. It's really brief, bro.
I didn't even catch that.
But I thought that's awesome. And he does that in all of in both of the Machete movies. There's nice little subtle nods.
Hell yeah. I want to catch those Death Race movies. I have them on my list. I think Statham is in the first one, right?
The fireman. They're underrated. Yeah.
I haven't even watched something similar to that, which is Twisted Metal on Peacock either, and I'm kind of a Twisted Metal fan, so I should watch that too.
Yeah.
So one thing I missed though, like, and I was gonna say, okay, so we'll do the gag. So he ties the skull scraper to the rope, whips it around, and like blades them in the head. And then the doctor was like, "Hey, the human intestines is like 60 feet long." So obviously he cut the guy's intestine out with the scraper, and that's when he did the Tarzan out the window gag into the next floor. He went through the windows, and then. Then Machete was jumping through the windows, and that actually was a sick stunt. I don't know if I assume Danny did that himself. I don't know if they really needed a stunt double for that, but when he was
it'd be interesting to know if he actually did in that.
It looked like it was him. I mean, from what you could see, it looked like his face. One thing I missed is what up, Mr. B? One thing I missed was how he links up with I think it was Jessica Alba that picked him up after that. I know they had the face off in the car. I thought, or no, I think Booth is the one that takes him out of there, isn't he? Let me see if it says. I forget now. Because I think at that point, no, I don't think it was Booth. Escaping once again for Booth's henchman, Agent Santana. So it was Alba. Yeah. I didn't see. I think I was doing something because I got up. I missed like how he got into her car when he got down the hospital. I don't know, but. You guys can watch it and tell us in the comments.
Professionalism by us both again.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like an hour.
But
a movie I've seen 5 times. Yeah, I mean, but it's like an hour 45-minute movie, guys. It's unlikely I'm going to know every frame for you. I'm not Robert Rodriguez, right?
Yeah, the same.
We don't memorize them that closely. Sorry, guys. Agent is sent by her superior to find and capture the injured Machete. With the help of Luz, a.k.a. She, the leader of a legal immigrant aid movement known as the Network. Obviously, I love that revolution concept. Recruits so it's talking about the Padre scene, his holy brother. So obviously, we'll do the Cheech Marin gag. Padre is Cheech Marin of Cheech and Chong fame. So Machete's brother is Cheech Marin Padre, and he's got this kind of like semi-corrupt church where he has like assault rifles and guns in the back and stuff, and he's been getting confessions from Booth and like recording them all, so he's like blackmailing all like not blackmail, but he's like taking intel on all the different characters. What up, Jerome? You seen Machete?
Welcome Jerome, welcome Pixie,
happy Cinco de Mayo weekend,
welcome Slip. Anybody else?
It's a holiday here, guys. Mexican holiday on tomorrow, which is why Canelo fought last night, because he usually fights on Cinco weekend, which is crazy. UFC was okay. It was not bad, Pixie. It wasn't that Sandhagen stop, Gaz. Sandhagen absolutely beasted Figueroa. That was crazy. The rest of the card was okay, but Sandy was fire.
Three matches really. The first Mason and Stevenson, then as you said, Sandhagen.
Nickel got washed undefeated.
That was a good one as well. It was a crazy one.
That was insane. Where are we at? So to take revenge on Booth, Machete kidnaps Booth's wife June and his daughter April after starring in an amateur adult film with them. He also collects evidence from Booth's house linking McLaughlin and Torres in a major drug trafficking deal. After encountering Machete, Santana begins to develop an interest in him. Elsewhere, Booth is revealed to be working for Torres, hires a hitman, Osiris Amanpour, that's Tom Savini, legendary Hollywood special effects guy, to assist in the hunt for Machete. We could talk about Machete going into Booth's mansion the first time. He brings in landscaping tools. He keeps hitting him with the weed whacker. He throws like the pickaxe right in their head. Like the two security guys are like, isn't it weird how you always just let a landscaper in? They're like, he could have any kind of weapon. He could have a machete, and they realize it's Machete. They both turn around. He throws the pickaxe right in their head.
Definitely. What I've just remembered something as well, just a random fun fact, just going to throw this in there. I think I was reading something about the character Machete, the origins, and Rodriguez's inspirations for designing and creating him. And I believe I read that. Excuse me, folks, one moment. Yeah, we're both in kind of Sunday mode here, myself and Ross. So she'll have to bear with us. Yeah, I believe I read that he wanted to do a Mexican version of Van Damme as well, which I
Nice.
thought was super, super interesting. And I thought if you think it's got that classic kind of action feel, then with the fighting as well. So I thought that was super, super interesting.
I would take some guesses. I would guess Zorro. He's like a Mexican mass vigilante. It's a sword fighter, and that they think there could be some Zodiac stuff with Zorro signing a Z.
Interesting.
I would say who else was I thinking of? Machete influences Zorro. Well, I'm blanking out now, but I'm sure it will come back to me. I was his character in Desperado. Danny Trejo, the knife thrower. So like Machete has those knives on his vest, like he had the throwing knives, and at the end in that final scene when he encounters Booth and McLaughlin running away, Machete runs across the top of the limo. That's how the knife thrower in Desperado. Remember, he was throwing the knives through the limo and he killed that guy. So like he used the limo again, like he did in Desperado. And obviously the Desperado trilogy, we haven't even mentioned it yet, but Trejo has that knife thrower character in one. There's obviously the El Mariachi short film before Desperado, and then there's the wax sequel.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico,
dog shit. But the first two are incredible. El Mariachi and Desperado are absolutely sick. I mean, obviously Depp is in Once Upon a Time. He tried to do what he could, but at that point it was another Booth gag we didn't mention. The Lindsay Lohan cameo when Booth goes to get his daughter April in the meth house. He just comes in with a silenced pistol, just starts blasting guys, and he goes through every room, killing everybody. He finds her in a closet. He's like, what did I tell you? He's like, if you ever need something, he's always said, come to me directly. Don't go to the supplier. He's like, this is the second operation I had to shut down because of you.
That's. He always has that kind of tongue-in-cheek aspect to it, though, after like a really over-the-top, blatantly violent sequence, and then but it's funny at times. It's just that kind of comic book humor. We've talked about this before with other action movies. We talked about it with John Hyams way back in the day of the Universal Soldier movies. Definitely have to do Unisol 1 for sure. Classic movie.
At least if we don't do 1, 3, and 4. Shout out to John Hyams. So the A24 is actually making that Smashing Machine movie now, which Dwayne Johnson's starring as Mark Herr, and Hyams is the director of the original Smashing Machine documentary, which me and Gaz mentioned when we interviewed him on our old show. So again, stuff that we talked about way back in the day is still getting brought up with feature films, and you know what I mean? It's pretty interesting how it all goes out. I'll jump back into plot. A group of border vigilantes sponsored by McLaughlin and led by Vaughn Johnson. That's Don Johnson. It's like, I guess that's like a toy on his name. Or Vaughn Jackson, and he's obviously the dude of Miami Vice fame. Began attacking anyone who may be harboring Machete and shoot Lulz in the right eye. That's when they pulled up on her at the gate. Booth and Osiris lead a raid to the church. Padre kills their henchman before the two incapacitate him and kill him by nailing him to the cross. So Cheech gets crucified, but do not find Booth's wife and daughter. That Cheech death scene is actually 16. I thought Cheech Marin did a good job acting in that. You know, the way they were like torturing him, and Booth took the wine and he drank it. And he's like, blood of Christ. He's like, it tastes like Merlot to me. Like Booth was super slept on in this movie, dude. He was a dope villain, you know.
I think Jeff Fahey gets slept on a lot because people talk about wasn't he the Lawnmower Man movies, but was he in that classic movie we were gonna review? Was it Screamers or something? Was he in that?
I don't remember him in Screamers, but he might have been.
It was in something we were gonna cover, and now we're live. It escapes me, but
it doesn't matter.
Screamers, I often feel he's underrated.
Put it in the chat if you want the Screamers review. Go on, guys.
No, I was just saying, I think he's an underrated actor for sure.
I thought this was one of his better roles. And again, this is not like, okay, this movie might be weird for you if you don't, watch Grindhouse movies like Gaz was saying. Yeah. But in a movie with Deniro, Trejo, Don Johnson, Cheech Marin, there's 4 or 5 major names in this film, So for him to hold his own, I thought even Tom Savini would blow people out of the water in movies that, or there's not many big names in it, I mean, he's pretty legendary in his own right. Let's see, incapacitate him and crucify him. Unbeknownst to Booth, the church has cameras. Through the CCTV recordings, the news of McLaughlin's corruption and faked assassination is eventually aired on national television. Infuriated, McLaughlin kills Booth and heads back to join Torres and Jackson to kill Machete. So they basically have an argument in the limo where McLaughlin's pissed at him because he did it all without authorization, messed everything up, and that's when McLaughlin eliminates Booth. He doesn't die. He shoots him in the chest, and then Machete encounters him later because Machete has a conversation with him. He's like, "Where's my wife?" And Machete says, "With God," because he left them at the church with Padre. And then he's like, "I guess I won't be seeing them then." And that's Booth. All of the villains actually have epic death scenes if you think about it. Booth does, McLaughlin does, and Torres does.
They really do. Just quickly remembered it's Peter Weller who's in Screamers, not. Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. But I think there was like 3 or 4 characters in Screamers, so I didn't know if he was one of the other dudes. Shout out if you want Screamers in the chat. You seen Screamers, Slipknot? Screamers is nuts. If you ever read the Phil K. Dick book, Second Variety, that's what was the name of Kurt Russell in a car grindhouse movie?
There's another Death Ride. Is it? Yes,
I'm talking about. Yeah. So the Machete trailer is in the middle of Death Ride and Planet Terror Pixie. Okay, so what happens is, so McLaughlin hits up Von Jackson. He tells him he's going on one last ride. He wants to like get away with them to get over the border. But when he pulls up on him, they call him out for being a corrupt politician. So they take him hostage, and they're basically going to make him film a hostage video. In order to eliminate the people who double-crossed him, Machete gathers the Mexican network and leads them to the base of the border vigilantes. When McLaughlin arrives at the base, Jackson turns on him for being involved with the Mexican drug trade, attempts to execute him, but is interrupted when Machete and the illegals arrive. This scene is like all like the jacked out hot rods and all the low riders in the cars, and they're all out front like pounding bass and like doing the hops, and like they have like rocket launchers on their engines at the front of their cars. They basically blow the front gate open, and this is the part. Screamers is fire. This is the part when essentially where you see like what was in the Machete fake trailer of launching the car off the jump with the chain gun on the front of the barrel. So it's basically this big battle where Machete leads the troops in, and they go to war with the vigilantes and basically like kill all of them, kill most of them. During this confrontation, the Mexican illegals triumph over the border vigilantes. Jackson tries to escape, but Lulz, who survived and now sports an eye patch, shoots him in the back of the head. It actually summarized a lot of stuff, so we'll do our own breakdown, guys. So Agent Santana lets McLaughlin go and asks him like it's Lulz that lets him go. Lulz asks him, "Hey, what side are you on? You know those guys out there are trying to kill you." So she gives him like a flannel, and they put a Mexican hat on him, on Deniro. Then they give him a pistol. So Deniro comes out fighting on their side. Machete kills a few dudes. They get him pinned down on the lowrider, and they try to kill him with his own machete. And then Lulz jumps out of the back of the ambulance, and she has those 2 chicks with the Mac 10s. She has that like I don't even know what she has. It's like an automatic shotgun or something. It's it's probably a sci-fi gun. I don't know if it's real. She mows down the guys that are about to kill Machete. She saves him. Lulz shoots McLaughlin in the back of the head. April thinks that she kills McLaughlin, but he had a bulletproof vest on under the flannel, so you see what happens to him after that. And then Machete basically fights Torres. That's the big moment. Torres threatens Santana. She's tied up. He cuts like the rope off her. That like thin, tiny blade that Torres was using is like a mini, like whatever, skinny katana. I always thought that was a sick blade. And Torres is actually a sick villain in too, which is obviously Seagal. Machete fights Torres and stabs him, who then scornfully kills himself through seppuku. The line is he's still alive with the sword in his chest, and he's like, "I could kill you right now," because the whole thing, it showed him how fast he was with the executions, like on some Toshiro Mifune shit. And he's like, "I could kill you right now." He's like, but because he references the fact like Machete hasn't died in the whole movie despite all those wounds, that you'll just keep coming back. And he's like, "I know you'll just be waiting for me in hell." And Michelle nods, so Machete nods. So he takes the blade, the machete in his chest, and he does the seppuku death. So obviously Torres has the 6 seppuku death, and then who then kills himself through seppuku. April shows up wearing a nun's habit, escaping from the church, and shoots McLaughlin after figuring out that he's killed her father. She's dressed as the nun, and she's like, "In the name of my father," and McLaughlin looks up. He's like, "My father." Wait, and he looks up and he sees it's April. It's like a funny gag there. McLaughlin, injured, manages to escape, but is later killed by the last remnants of his own border vigilante group who mistake him for a Mexican. He gets stuck on the electric fence and he can't talk, and that's what he was campaigning for, was the electric fence. So just the hilarious switch-up gag on him from how the movie started with him killing the people that were crossing. He was taken for Mexican. Machete meets with Sartana, who gives him a green card, but he rejects it, saying he's already a legend. They kiss, and right after the night of the closing credits announce further adventures for Machete, which was Machete Kills, as you guys were saying. Oh yeah, I told you Desert Fiends was hilarious. Yeah, no, definitely. Everybody go make sure you review it. Everybody go check out Desert Fiends on Amazon Prime. I was a crowdfunder on that.
Yeah, what did you think of the band and that, Pixie?
The Cali Bellends. Did you see one of the dudes from the band commented on our?
Yeah, I thought that was sick.
Yeah, that was chill. Definitely shout out to him. I don't know if that was the lead singer or whoever, but that was hilarious. But yeah, guys, Machete, Cinco de Mayo weekend, Danny Trejo classic. Like I said, just stacked. Definitely watch if you haven't. I like the sequel too. I don't think that the sequel is as strong as this one. If you guys want us to review it, we could.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be a little controversial here. The first one, great. The sequel, Machete Kills, could have done with 20 minutes shaving off the sequel, and it has some moments. I mean, one of the funniest scenes in the second one involves a boat. That's all I'm going to say. Utterly ridiculous, but so funny, and of course the sci-fi parody at the end. But the second one, I'm probably at somewhere about a 6 on the second. I just don't feel like quite it was impactful as the first.
That's what most people said. I'm just like, I'm such like a fanboy of this character and Rodriguez that like it was it's probably like a 6.5, 7 for me. I like what's his name, who's Voz's main security. He's that tall like Spanish dude that's in all the kung fu movies. He's fought like Atkins, Jaw. He's fought he's really dope. Yeah. So I like that dude. I like Gibson as the villain. I do like the ending. Yeah. Most people said Machete Kills wasn't as strong as the first one. So I'll let you guys know what it's rated at on IMDb. It is a 6 out of 6. I gave it a 10 because I thought it was insane. Like we said, Seagal, Rodriguez, Alba, Deniro, Danny Trejo's first lead. Gaz, what would you rate this one?
I'm probably at about an 8.5. There's a lot of memorable moments. It is a very entertaining film. As I've said, if you're expecting something very serious, not used to these kind of movies,
right,
then you probably will be, what am I watching? Or you maybe not quite get it, but just give it a chance. Be entertained. It's funny. Yeah. If you've only seen Machete Kills and you weren't that impressed with that, please go and watch the original. The original is the better out of the two. Danny Trejo isn't. I think already possibly is considering doing Machete Kills again, where it would go to space. That would be very, very interesting.
Yeah, I think he would do it. I think it's more Rodriguez's call. It's just like, I think the problem is like after the studio saw 2 of these and how insane 1 was and how insane 2 was, and then they watched that trailer of what it's supposed to be 3, the studio was probably like, I don't know, Robert. Can we really handle 3 of these? The first 2 are out of control.
Yeah. I do want to send a quick shout out. Maybe you could look at this. There is a new Scott Adkins movie. I just dropped Diablo, so that's I believe due soon.
And then I think he has Prisoner of War. I don't know if it's out yet. Yeah. I did watch Striking Justice, guys. I want if you like Tony Jaa, if you like martial arts action, go to Amazon Prime. Watch Striking Justice. He's back. It was sick. I mean, Tony Jaa is 49 now, but you wouldn't know it from the film. I'm really looking forward to Gaz getting it screened, and the fights are awesome. It delivered. If you're a Protector fan, if you're an Ong Bak fan, you've seen his cameos in Expendables and the Fast movies. Tony Jaa is that dude.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, Ong Bak, all of them classics. Def Pixie. So, what would you like to see next? Would you? Well, sorry, folks. I've just realized I actually just more or less asked this question, so I'm in Sunday mode. So just forget that. I was about to ask you about Machete Kills again, if we'd see that, and just realized already answered that.
Yeah, it would be dope. Like I said, I'm for it. I know Robert Rodriguez is doing a thing now where he's like crowdfunding films from like other people, so it seems like he's considering like alternate sources. I mean, if Machete 3 needed to be crowdfunded, Robert, you could take my money right now. I'm fanboyed in on the trilogy. Even a video game would be sick, Gaz. I'm surprised there's a graphic novel.
That'd be hilarious.
Danny Trejo's website. He's got a lot of cool merch on his website. I've done like some of the sweepstakes to try to win like a signed machete from him and stuff. Follow his social media. He's got the taco shop up in LA. He's got the donut shop up in LA. Trejos Tacos. So yeah, definitely support that guy. I love him. I mean, so yeah, some of his newer stuff isn't the best, but he's still a legend, you know.
Yeah, for reals.
So, and Rodriguez is that guy. I mean, he, like I said, there's definitely obviously Rodriguez got brought in on the Boba Fett season 1, the Book of Boba Fett, and then he did that one episode of the Boba Fett episode of The Mandalorian when he got his armor back. I thought that was like the best episode. So
yeah.
Robert Rodriguez is that dude too. I still I mean, yeah, he makes Spy Kids and stuff. I don't particularly watch those, obviously, but as far as like his hard R, grindhouse stuff, I obviously do watch it. But yeah, other than that, unless you have anything else to add, guys, next week we're gonna have Lauren Lepre back with us, Roadhouse OG, review, and we'll get the. Then I'm gonna be away, so no show the week after that. Probably Top Gun for Memorial Day is what we're thinking, and then Conan the Barbarian, 2 more PXF classics. So other stuff we want to get in the mix. Gaz already saw Whack Count and Pooh. I need to get to the theater to check it. I saw. I might go to Sinners tonight if I have time. We'll see. And Striking Rescue, definitely as soon as Gaz gets it screened, we'll get it scheduled.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I could make you kind of leave you in horror. They're doing another Blair Witch movie that apparently drops later this year. So there's something to be super excited about.
I saw one back in the day when I was like a teenager, but like when they made 2 and 3 and all that other trash, obviously it was a big deal back in the day. I didn't really follow up. Lauren is a little bit more tapped into like the found footage horror movies than I am.
Next week, Roadhouse is next week. The Roadhouse as well. The Roadhouse OG. The
Roadhouse OG. Roadhouse original.
We've owed Lauren that for a long time, a seriously long time. So we will be getting on that. There's the remake of The Running Man drops later this year, Ross, as well.
Yes, I don't mind that actor. I just think it's the wrong way to go. So maybe if they drop that piece of shite, me and Gaz do Running Man OG, because that's usually when they make a reboot quote, me and Gaz are like, yeah, we'll just review the original and tell you guys what the good one was, you know?
Yeah. 2 p.m. next Saturday. We did the recent Hellraiser Jerome, but we could add the originals, so it's on. I mean, there's about 10 of them, but
we did the remake and it was not good on Hulu, aka Pulu. But I like Hellraiser 1 and Hellraiser 2. Hellraiser 2, Hell on Earth is sick.
Yeah, Hellraiser 4 in space, that was all right as well. First 4 the best.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And I have the what's it called? Sacred. I have the book on my shelf, Jerome. It's Sacred Heart, right? Hellbound Heart, something like that. It's somewhere in my bookshelf. Maybe I moved it, but the book is cool too. Clive Barker. All right, guys, join us next week for Roadhouse. I gotta go get over to Gabe so we can start looking at episode 5 of Zodiac Files, get some edits going. But join us next week for Roadhouse with Lauren Lepre. Head on over to Mosh Shinobi, rock with Gaz. Yeah, I know you want to do some horror, bro. So we'll try to get Hellraiser scheduled. Usually those drop around October. We try to do a lot of horrors in October, but we'll get it in the mix.
Yeah, Jerome, jump on with us. I think that's probably what you mean. Jump on with us for Hellraiser, man. Any of those movies, that would be dope.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks for tapping in. Mr. B, Slippy, Pixie. Join us next week for Roadhouse with Lauren. It's going to be a classic. There's still a lot of stuff dropping. Skate to Hell, Lauren's Camera X, which is a PXF officially branded short film. There's the one that I'm shooting next month, but me and Gaz are keeping it a secret until we get a trailer on that. So just stay locked in the post and you'll see more stuff what I'm up to. There's also a couple true crime things coming, guys. I'm gonna do a couple shorts and get some other stuff scheduled. Dion is going to return for part 2 of his Zodiac interview, but I think I gave him the date of when I'm traveling to the East Coast, so I'll might push that back a week, and then maybe I'll do a doubleheader on the either the 24th or the 31st. So either Top Gun or Conan. So what, Hellraiser 5? That's like the one about like the weird detective guy, right? All right, guys. Yeah, we're gonna rock it. Me and Gus both got things to do today, but next week, join us for Roadhouse. Like, sub, share, click a membership for a click join for a membership. You can head on to the Patreon, join for free with Gmail. I still do have some stuff I'm going to do over there regarding the last couple Most Dangerous Game adaptations left, and the Red Circle. I need to get my written review up on there. I still haven't watched it, but that'll be coming too. Peace out, all. Like, sub, share, click join, and you guys know where to find us. Follow us on socials, sub Gaz at Mosh, and have a good day, guys. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Paradigm Review Show, Machete.